Today I want to talk about what the Treasury Secretary said yesterday. But before I do, I want to play a clip of one of my favorite comedians, and I believe this is like around 2000, in the 2000s he said this, on George Carlin. And I'll play it, listen to what he says, and then I'll play a clip of what Scott Bessent's going to say, and then we'll go from there.
The lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money.
It is a backdoor for privatizing Social Security. Like Social Security is a defined benefit plan paid out that.
So, Social Security, George said they're going to get their hands on it, take it from you. And I remember back in 2005, after the Bush won his re-election, they talked about privatizing Social Security. And Bessent just said, these Trump accounts for kids are a backdoor to get Social Security. And I'll explain what that is real quick. Those 1,000, you probably hear my dog walking. They're going to give kids for the next 3 years, I think it is, born in the U.S., $1,000 MAGA accounts. I forgot what MAGA means. I'll type it in here in a minute when I edit this. But you get $1,000 for each kid, and then parents can put $5,000 into these accounts every year, and it's supposed to be for the middle class. And these grow tax-free, so when the kid gets it and takes the money out, they get the money tax-free. I don't know if the average family can afford to spend $5,000 per child extra on top of all the other cost increases we've had in the last couple of years, including this year. PCE came out today. That's up. So inflation's going the wrong direction. And I believe I called that in some previous videos about all these tariffs. But anyways, so they want you to fund these accounts for your kids at $5,000 each. That is not a middle class thing. I will tell you that right now. I'm not going to say how much I make, but I make a good living. And I would not want to spend, I have 2 kids. I'm not going to put $10,000 a year total into an account for them on top of everything else we like to do and invest for myself. I'm sidetracked on that. Okay, anyways. So they're going to use these accounts, and as you saw, Treasury Secretary said these are going to be backdoors into getting Social Security. The problem with that is Social Security is a defined benefit plan, so you know what you're going to get every month you get Social Security. And as much as I love investing, there's a lot of risk involved with that. And if you retire at the wrong time, you're going to lose a lot of money. Just like if somebody tried to retire in the financial crisis, there was the .com bust, Great Depression, obviously. And then there was times when we had low growth in stock. The market didn't really go up too much. So as much as I love investing, everybody should try to do it. It's not a panacea for retirement. And Social Security is a very important thing, especially to a lot of people. And they're trying to get their hands on it. They're going to take it from us to make their friends rich, because it's going to go to the hedge funds owners, these big corporation owners who are going to run these programs, and they're going to get their fee out of that too. So if you have a 401k, there's a fee. You pay a fee on the account. So they want to get their hands on the Social Security Trust Fund because this is trillions of dollars. And there's going to be a lot of fees to go with that. So they want that. They want to get themselves richer. They don't care about you and how this would not be beneficial for you. They care about making more money. So when Scott Bessent says that, and then he's trying to walk it back today, he knew what he said because he was talking to Breitbart News. He knew what he was said. Remember, Scott Bessent's supposed to be some super smart guy, financial wizard. He knows what he's doing. And this is why voting is important. Had Indiana had 2 more Democratic House members, the bill would have failed. The big, beautiful bill would have failed. So they wouldn't have these accounts to get their hands onto towards Social Security. So this is why elections matter. This is a consequence because people aren't taking some of these things seriously, and this is what happens. We get bills like this that make it easier down the line for other people to get their hands on Social Security. And people need that. It's some people, that's all the money they get. But it's a guaranteed amount, same amount every month, and it goes up with inflation every year. You can invest and you can lose money one year. And so your check will be smaller when you take out your money out off your 401k. So they need to keep their hands off Social Security. They need to, what they should do is actually fund it better. Right now, if you make more than, I think it's 170, it changes. After that $170,000 a year you earn, you no longer pay into Social Security. That's done. You're done paying in for the year. So if you make that 160 grand by June, or 170, whatever, by June, then any dollar you make after that is no longer paying the Social Security. So it's not that Social Security doesn't go insolvent, it's they choose not to fund it properly. Anyway, so elections have consequences, and we're bearing the burden of what our owners, as George Carlin quote, own us. They're going to get what they want, and right now, that, like he said in that clip, they're going to get your Social Security. They're coming for it. They've been coming for it for a while. They're trying to do their best to get it now. So remember, we have an election coming up next year. Get fired up. Think about how, if you think it's bad now, how much worse can they make it if they get the whole presidency and they're in charge of it the whole time? The Republicans control the whole thing for all 4 of these years. We could at least mitigate some of this with voting and getting fired up. So remember, you have a voice, use it. Talk to people, talk to other people you're friends with, find some common ground to where you can agree with them on some things and they can agree with you and be like, hey, we can do better. Let's give this a different try. Let's stop voting for the same people over and over again and just give somebody else a try. Because if we don't, they'll get your Social Security. Trust me, they will get it. They're going to get what they want one way or another. The best you can do is play some good defense and slow down as long as you can. So remember, you have a voice, use it.